screaming in the background. It was someone from my family. So.
Oh, yeah, that's totally okay. Good statement.
Okay. So, okay. Okay, that started. Oh, just a minute. I need to share that. Where are you? Oh, okay. So, what did you do in Pohang, IT?
My friend is working for POSCO, you know, the
Yes.
POSCO steel company.
Yeah.
And he made a private tour for us. So, and we went around the POSCO and we watched the how the steel is made from the hot iron and the history of our steel industry in Korea. And we went around the Pohang city, and the beach was really beautiful because the weather was so nice. So the color was really fantastic. So, and we have a lot of various seafood in Pohang. So it's a great time and a lot of talk night. He organized a private tour of the factory for us. Thank you.
Yeah. So actually, I recommend steel mill instead of factory because you.
Yes. Mill means the hot.
No. Steel mill itself means 제철소.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Steel mill.
Yeah. So that means 제철소. So you can use. You can say he organized a private tour of the steel mill for us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that sounds interesting. Did you go and have 물회 or 과메기 or?
Exactly what you said. Wow.
Okay. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah. My friend. Well, it was a subsidiary of POSCO that my friend used to work in. So we did something similar a couple of years ago. In Pohang with some of my friends. So 3 of us went down to Pohang, and a friend of ours was soon to leave the company because he was accepted to another company. So he said, "Okay, guys, this is the last chance. You should come down to see me in Pohang if you want to." So yeah, we went down. We probably had the same thing. Okay.
Actually, the friend who worked for POSCO was in the last year, and he was one of the employee who can work for Indonesia subsidiary. So he was really anticipated because his family want to go there, but at last time the person changed, so he failed to so he really maybe the Indonesia, the similar steel mill is made from POSCO.
I think they will import raw material. I think they would probably import raw material from here.
Then a little different industry maybe.
I don't know. So I'm not quite clear with POSCO's field of business. But So I know they have a very close relationship with Australia because POSCO was one of the key sponsors for events at the embassy that I used to work in. And the reason why they had a very close relationship was because Australia was their number one or number two.
The raw material is from
Yes.
Australia.
Iron ore and coal were imported from Australia.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I don't think Indonesia has like a big heavy industry or plant industry such as heavy steel mill, but I do know that they export a lot of raw material, especially coal. I don't know about iron ore, but they do export coal from here. Coal is a big business here.
Yeah.
I learned that when I came here. Coal is a big business.
The price of coal is really high from last year, so I think Indonesia make a lot of money from coal. I
could
think.
be. Yes, could be. Could be. Yeah. Okay. Well, you seem to have enjoyed yourself with your friends in Wuhan. That's good to hear. Okay. How about you, Brian? How was your weekend?
You mean weekend? As you know, on Saturday it was the first day of after recharging from the
discharge.
Discharge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was really focused on baby Carrie, and as you can guess, it's very tired. It's not really easy to care 2 kids.
Right.
Yes.
And you have two.
Yes, he has 2
boys. That's why. Right.
So does he finally have a name?
Yeah.
The second son.
We named the second son as Minu because the first one is Minhyuk. So
Min-u.
Second one is Minu, and first one is Minhyuk.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very easy to pronounce it for foreigners.
Minu.
Yes, that's why we name it like that.
Minu. Good.
Minhyuk is a little bit difficult.
Yes, it's difficult.
Yeah, but
it's difficult.
Yeah, Minu is easier.
Yeah.
Anyone of you try to have the whale meat or shark meat? Because I heard many times from books and articles that people who live in Pohang eat it frequently, but I never heard about my friends say like that.
Okay, so I have tried whale meat once, but it was not in Pohang, it was in Busan. For me, it wasn't really that pleasant. The taste, I mean, it wasn't a really good, pleasant experience for me. So it had a bit of a fishy smell. So if you ask me, but I don't think the quality of the meat was that great. So maybe if I have the chance, I'll try it one more time. Shark, we had it. We used to have shark meat almost every 제사.
Oh, me too.
Really?
돈베기.
Right.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah, so my family is from Busan. And especially in Busan and Gyeongsangdo,
and 제주도.
yeah, they have 돈베기. Well, they call it 돈베기 in Gyeongsangdo.
Right.
I don't know what they call it in Jeju, but in Gyeongsangdo they call it 돈베기, and we usually eat it as 한적.
Right, right. Jeju is the same. They also
Call it
call it
돈베기.
돈베기.
Yeah. So if you go to like 자갈치 market in Busan, you can see on the streets in stores shark meat being sold. You can see it easily.
Do you like it? Actually, it is a little. I don't like it.
You don't like it? Well, if no one tells you that it's shark, you won't really tell. If you eat it as 한적, you won't. You really can't tell that it's shark meat. Yes.
It's a similar normal meat.
Yes. The texture, the taste, because it's marinated in soy sauce.
Right.
The flavor of the natural flavor of shark, you really can't tell. Yeah. The texture is a lot like, how would you say it? Somewhere between, for me, it was somewhere between chicken and pork.
Right, exactly. I think.
Yes. But because in Seoul, you can probably only buy it in like Noryangjin or Karak. My mom lately, she's not putting it on the 제사상 anymore. And it's not a popular dish at home. So I mean, I would eat it. I would eat it if it's there. But if you ask me, would you go search for a restaurant that sells shark meat? I wouldn't go. Yeah.
Is it expensive? I don't know the price, but
I don't know. I think it's probably expensive in Seoul because there's not much demand. So I guess it's a matter of demand and consumption. So if you try to buy it in Busan, maybe it's cheaper. If you try to buy it in Seoul, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. But whale was not that. I mean, it wasn't really that good for me. Yes. So Brian, you never tried shark or whale meat? None of it?
Yeah, I never tried.
Okay.
Except the shark fin.
Yes, shark fin, yes.
That's an experience. Well, I searched it on Google, and there's many examples that how we can use the shark meat. One is for dog snack. So when we fry
dog food?
Yeah, dog food.
Okay.
When you try it, it will be really beneficial for dog or cat. It's very interesting.
Okay. So Brian, just one thing. So you don't have to use a possessive S for if you want to say dog food. You can just say dog food. You don't have to say dog's food. Cat food, dog food, they're all fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Dog food means the food for dog?
Yeah, 개사료.
Is it called just the dog food?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know about any other pets, but for dog and cats, I'm definitely sure.
It's very easy.
Yes.
To remember.
Yes.
Is there any word like human being food?
I don't think so. No, none that I know of. None that I know of. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, us being humans, I don't think we would say human food, especially. I mean, food If you just say food, I guess it means just food for humans.
Uh-huh. And in Pohang, maybe 1 year ago, POSCO made in the park, they made the skywalk. Have you heard of it?
Is it inside the steel mill, or is it somewhere nearby? In just Pohang?
In Pohang, there is a very huge park. I don't remember the name of the park, but POSCO made a big steel step, and it is like a roller coaster. It looks like roller coaster,
Okay.
but people can walk there.
Okay.
So many people enjoyed it, and it's free, so anybody can go there. So, but I'm surprised that my friend most of my friend was men, and they are all very very fear of height. What can I say? 고소공포증? Phobia? What can I say? Acrophobia?
No. Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
You can say they were all scared of heights,
Scared of height?
or they all had
scared of
fear
height.
of height.
So I wondering.
So if you use scared, it's used as a verb. But if you want to use fear, then it's a noun. So they all had fear of heights.
Okay.
Which means 고소공포증. But if you say they were all scared of heights, that means 높이 있는 것에 대해서 두려움을 가지고 있다. 두려워한다.
I'm not sure. Is there any tendency the guys had more fear of height than women? Do you think so?
I don't know. For me, it changed. So when I was in my 20s, I was okay, but ever since I've reached my mid 40s, I kind of started having fear of it. Yeah.
Every guys around in the maybe around 40 is a very, I didn't expect it, but because it is not so scary to me, but they are really had a lot of not only one person, but everyone, they all had the fear of their height. So it's a tendency of guy to maybe the
but I wouldn't say every guys would be like that. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's a personal experience. Yes, but generalizing that to all men, I wouldn't say it would apply. Maybe you're right. Maybe there are more men who get scared of heights when they age, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. So in my 20s, yes, I liked roller coasters. They're fine. I mean, when I was doing my military service, I jumped off planes and things like that, and it was fine then as well. But when I reached about mid 40s, I think I started having that fear of heights.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
how about you, Brian? Or maybe he's also.
Yeah, you mean in terms of height?
Yes. Are you okay with it?
I'm exactly the same with Taehoon, because when I was twinnies, I never scared of heights, so always one jump at the very beginning
Okay.
of my group. But as of 40s
Oh,
is really hard. Yeah.
hi, Minu. I hear your voice.
Can you hear it? Because my boy was crying, so I just
Okay.
my
Hi, baby.
things.
Oh.
Let's study together.
I'm sorry. Please
It's
continue to speak.
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's
No
fine.
problem.
It's fine.
It's a really long time that the baby cry, baby voice.
Yeah, same
Uh,
here.
You can, in that case, you can say it's been a long time since I've heard a voice of a baby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wait, I'll type that for you.
It's been a long time since
Something-
I heard the voice of baby. It's been
Me?
a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I heard the voice of baby. Right.
I think it's. I think
Uh-huh.
grammatically, I think this is correct. I've heard the voice of a baby.
It's been a long time since
Since
I've
I've
heard the
heard the
voice
voice.
of a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. 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 Actually, my goal was to have maximum of up to 5, but
Mhm.
I had to settle with 3.
Uh-huh. Excuse me, but I want to introduce very useful site to you.
For me or for Brian?
Actually, Taeun will not need this kind of uh thing, but I'm wondering if Brian use it. You know the Killbot?
Killbot?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't
That
know.
is really useful when I have to write in English.
Oh,
Everybody use the Google or Papago for the
uh-huh,
first translation,
uh-huh.
and the Killbot make it the pre-phrase more advanced term continuously.
Oh,
So it is really useful when we made the English document or English email. So I want to introduce it to you.
Quillbot.
Quillbot.
Yes,
Maybe
okay.
Taeun will not need this kind of
Oh,
help.
well, I mean, it does help. I wouldn't say it doesn't. Do you
It's
know what
really the uh-huh.
No, go ahead.
It's free basically, but
Oh,
when
okay.
I went to the more formal, more creative version,
Mhm.
it is we have to pay some, but just the free version is really useful enough. So
Okay.
I sometimes you will try. I recommend it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So there's also a Chrome extension for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where the word quill came from?
Oh, excuse me.
The name of the service is called Quillbot. Do you know
Yeah.
what quill means?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
So
wondering.
in the old days, especially in the West,
Uh-huh.
so in the East, we used brush to write. 붓을 썼잖아요.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And in the West, they used feathers. They dipped feathers into ink, and they wrote with that. And
That's why.
those feather pens were called
Yeah.
quills.
Yeah. So that's why the site, the
Yes,
signature is a
Quillbot.
feather.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Ah.
So it has the meaning of feather, but
Mhm.
because they used feather to write, it also became the word for the pen, the feather pen.
Ah, yeah. Actually, it used the AI method,
Mm,
so not direct in the Google or Papago translate very directly when
mhm,
I typing something, but
mhm.
it is what is in English 의역?
의역?
약간 직역 말고 의역을 해가지고 various version they showed me. So it is sometimes really astonishing to
Oh,
really cool.
paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing. Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
That is okay.
Paraphrase.
Mhm. Amazing word. In my company, actually, some years ago, the every team has an English specialist because we use a lot of English for our foreign director.
Mhm,
So, but nowadays, if I use the keyboard and the Google or Papago,
mhm.
it is I can do by myself. So it is really big help to
Okay.
me.
Okay. Yes. The days of an interpreter and translator is
Yeah,
dawning.
yeah,
Yes, I know.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's very useful. I think it's peacetime.
Uh-huh.
Have you tried it? Have you tried using it?
Oh, not actually, but I use Grammarly.
Oh,
Do
oh
you,
yes.
Yeah.
so why I use the Chrome or the Google Docs and PowerPoint? They can rewrite the sentence automatically and suggest anytime. So it's really useful.
Uh-huh.
But I think Quillbot is really useful when I really rewrite the sentences, as you guys
Yeah.
may paraphrase.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Thanks.
So I think there's now several services because I've tried using Grammarly. I also have a service called WordTune as an extension as well for Chrome.
Uh-huh.
So in addition to grammar checks, it also suggests
Mhm.
other expressions as well.
Right.
So if I write
Right.
something, and then it will suggest, how about writing it this way?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
think it's a bit like Quillbot in a way.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's because it does paraphrase as well.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So with AI, with the introduction of AI, with the development and advancement of AI, I think we're going to see a lot
Right.
more of these type of services.
Right.
So I guess the important thing is having who has the most data, the most DB that
Right.
you can use. Yeah.
Right.
So when I did not last year, when I couldn't really find a job here and I didn't have a lot of other works to do on my spare time, I used to work for this service called, I think it's APEN or APEN. I'm not quite sure how it's exactly pronounced. And it's a service where you get paid to
Uh-huh.
do recordings. So, or write down possible expressions for like
Mhm.
Siri or those
Um,
um, those type of services. So we would suggest, okay, in this situation, what expressions, what phrases would you use? What sentences would you use? And then we would type in all these different types of expressions or sentences or phrases that we would use. So for like, if you want to like turn on your alarms in your phone, how would you tell Siri to do that? So we would give all these, not just myself, but many people who work for that service, they would just give all these examples and then they would
Uh-huh.
pay us for every expressions or phrases that we enter. So.
Yeah, amazing work.
Yes, it is. Okay. Sorry, guys, we'll stop there for a minute. And today's news is about Australia and King Charles III. Yeah. So Australia is a Commonwealth country. So a Commonwealth country refers to would mean in Korean 영연방 국가. If you use Commonwealth with a capital C, it means 영연방, the Commonwealth. It means 영연방. And they have the head of state and the head of government. Because it's yes. So the head of state used to be Queen Elizabeth II, and it now is King Charles III. And then the head of government is the prime minister. And so they have, actually in Australia, they have a governor who is appointed by the king of UK. So in governor in Korean would mean 총독. In the past, the governors were from UK, but nowadays they appoint someone from Australia. So they appoint an Australian as governor these days, but still, anyway, they still have that tradition. And when in UK, if there's a change in the king or queen, they have to print new bills, new notes, new cash with the new king or queen's face. And Australia decided that they would currently they have Queen Elizabeth II's face on their $5 bill. But now they're not planning to do that anymore. Yeah. So that's the background story.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not familiar with the political or economical factors in Australia. So what about the political relationship between England and Australia?
Okay, wait a minute. Will is here. So they do have a very close relationship, but other than the fact that they share the same head of state, they're just separate countries. Yes. So although they have the same king as the head of state, the British government has no say in the politics in Australia. So they have different head of government. So that's why it's different.
I see.
Okay. Okay, just a minute. I will turn on. This is interesting. Here, wait a minute.
Paraphrase your writing using artificial intelligence. We also need to touch on how it allows you to take an article, paper, or document and condense it into the most information at the click of a button. We also need to say how it uses natural language processing, which allows you to grab critical information while maintaining original context. Read that back to me.
How about Quillbot is every writer's dream come true? Make your ideas come true. Writer's block today.
That's genius.
Maybe
That
it's
is a 10%
because
raise.
Oh, I'm an intern. You're not paying me.
Yeah.
Quillbot maybe, but I don't know.
I didn't know
Suddenly
that
this
they
came up.
advertising. They do advertising.
Well, I mean, everyone does these days. So okay,
gee.
just a minute. Okay, here we go.
If cash is king down under, Britain's King Charles is being dethroned.
I think that's absolutely brilliant. This is Australia.
The new king's face won't replace his mother's, which is currently on Australia's $5 bill. Instead, the government decided on an image honoring the country's indigenous culture.
The $5 note will say more about our history and our heritage and our country, and I see that as a good thing.
The British monarch is Australia's head of state, but Queen Elizabeth's passing last September is raising uncomfortable questions for royalists, with many folks asking if they even need a king.
We're in Australia, we need to be a republic, we've got nothing to do with the monarchy.
The Queen's finished, and I don't think Charles is up to it.
The Queen's face is still in circulation on more than a dozen currencies around the world. The UK will start rolling out the King's new notes next year, but it's unknown how many other countries will keep with tradition. And not everyone in Australia is glad to see the monarch replaced.
I think the Queen is amazing, and we should keep her honor in loving memory of her.
The King's face will make it on the country's coins, but the monarchy's monopoly on money is finally spent. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
So it was a very short news article. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. The first, I don't know whether you've clearly heard the first sentence, but it was a bit confusing for me. If cash is king down under, Britain's King Charles is being dethroned. But do you know that people call Australia down under?
Not really.
I don't know.
It's like a nickname, yeah, for Australia. So if you say down under, it means Australia.
Mm.
Yeah. So it means below. So the equator in the southern hemisphere. That's why they use the word down under. Yeah. So yeah, have a quick read if you want. It's a very short one. So King Charles's face will go into new coins in Australia, but they will not be in notes or bills. The word note and bill refers to 지폐.
At this time is easy to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So it's quite different from ours, like I mean the Korean system where we don't really, because it's probably because we don't have a monarch, that we don't need to change the photo, or I mean the printing of bills or notes every time there's a new monarch. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting story, so I just wanted to share it with you.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I didn't know that the history they use that kind of history in their cash. And is it related to some kind of hostility about the Charles?
Of what? Sorry, excuse me.
What is the hostility? 적대감?
A hostility, yes. Against who?
Against to the British.
No, I wouldn't say Australia has any hostility against Britain. Yes.
But
no, none
just
that I
they
know of.
want to changing.
Well, it's like Yeah. So even in Britain, many are rethinking about, do we really need a monarch? Do we need a king in our country? It's even being discussed in Britain as well. So considering the geographical distance between Britain and Australia, I mean, it's quite far away. And Queen Elizabeth, because she reigned for a very long period, and she was very adored and loved by many in the Commonwealth, I think people accepted her as their queen, but King Charles is really not that popular, even in Britain. Yeah. So I guess that's one of the other reasons why many people don't think that they don't need a king anymore, a monarch anymore. Yeah. Especially, I mean, King Charles is not living in Australia. He's living very far away. So why have a king? So no, I don't think they have any grudge against him. I mean, I don't think Australians have any grudge against Britain itself. It's just, do we need a king? And as the article mentions, not everyone. So it's divided. I think there's now probably a little bit more that wants to be a republic rather than a monarchy. But it's a sensitive issue. So. Anything else? Is there any word that you find to be needs clarification? So head of state, head of government. Yes. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah. Can you explain a little bit about the feeling of Charlie is up to it? Interview. Yeah, the
King Charles.
In the text, the Queen's finished it, and I don't think Charles is up to it.
The Queen's finished, so the Queen's dead, and I don't think Charles is up to it. Oh, okay. So the Queen's dead, and I don't think King Charles is up to the position as a king. So I don't think King Charles would would perform greatly as a king. I think that would be what it means.
Yeah, so I was curious about.
So in Korean you would say, 그러니까 이제 여왕이 죽었는데 찰스 왕이 정말 왕으로서 잘할 것 같지는 않다. That's probably the meaning of that sentence.
Yeah, I understand the meaning, but then like
you mean the expression up to it?
Yeah, up to it when I use it, because normally might say up to you or up to him, like that depends on someone, but in this case it seems like a little bit different.
So the word it here refers to the position.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think he is up to it. In my view, is it would probably mean the position of that person. So position or responsibilities. That I think that is what it means. So I don't, what this sentence means is that I don't think King Charles is is ready to take on the position and responsibility as a king.
You can use up to here.
Yeah.
Right?
So you wouldn't use up to king. You would still use the phrase as it is, up to it. But it, in that sense, would mean somewhere close to position and responsibility.
See, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really fan of the Walking Dead. The
Oh,
zombies.
okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, American drama, and there was one, the government called Commonwealth.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I thought that Commonwealth is like something like Silver Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it for Commonwealth to be Yeongbang, it has to have the capital C.
Okay.
So actually, I don't think you've never heard of this word before, this sports event before that, but there's a sports event called the Commonwealth Games. Like the Asian Games or the Olympics, Commonwealth Games is a sports event only for countries within the Commonwealth. So whereas they don't have rugby I don't think rugby is in the Olympics, is it? Yes, but I do know that rugby is played in the Commonwealth Games.
Oh.
Yes. And very likely cricket as well.
Even India is in it.
Yes, of course, India is a Commonwealth country. So even some countries that do not have the British king as their head of state, they still can be a Commonwealth, member of the Commonwealth. Yeah. So usually, I don't know why, but the old colonies of the Great Britain Empire are members of the Commonwealth. And I think they stayed in there mainly because of economical issues.
I see.
Taeun, I'm
Yes.
wondering, is there any difference between the accent between Australian English and UK English?
There are, yes, slightly different.
Different?
Yes, different.
But Australian English is more similar to
British
UK than US.
American, yes. So Australia became independent or became a separate country, I think just in the 20th century.
Right.
Yes. So you got to think about, when did this country become independent from the British? And if you become independent, the influence lessens. It decreases. And I think also there was a difference between, the US, they had to fight for their independence with the British. So they were at, like what Brian mentioned, they were in a hostile relationship with the British for some time. Yes. And because of the distance as well, the English that is used in America is influenced by the English that was used at that time, but because that divide happened in the, was it in the 18th century? I think it was 18th century. That's when they evolved differently. But if you look at Australia, it happened in the 20th century. So that's when they divided separately at that time. So the influence of the British English remained further on in Australia, and which is unlike in the US. So yes. And if you look at, so if you go to Boston in the US, the Boston accent is very similar to the British accent of the 18th century. Yes. So if you want to study about 18th century British English, British accent, you actually, Boston is a very good place to go study. Yeah, that's what I've heard when I was studying linguistics.
Yeah, thank you for your explanation.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're all good? Okay. So today is Monday, and if you're, I'll be here again on Saturday this week. Yeah, so I'm now doing Saturday and Monday. So I had to change because of my personal schedule. So so I hope you survive until Saturday, Brian. Yeah. I mean, a newborn is joy and grief sometimes, both at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fighting.
Okay. So keep it up. So have a good week, everyone. And if you're available, I'll see you on Saturday or maybe next week.
I see.
Okay, good night.
Yeah,
See
thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.